The Lost City is a world so utterly boring, dull, and plague-ridden that it made me join the circus and change my legal name to Prolapse McGee. It is a world that I managed to beat all within 90 minutes without a single fail. However, there are still plenty of tangents to go on and jokes to be made, so let's get started. But first, why don't you subscribe to help me free Chill Bill from the Gulag? The Lost City starts on day 1 where we are introduced to the gimmick of the world, the sun tiles. What these sun tiles do is they generate OnlyFans content while there are plants on top of them, giving us more sun to work with throughout the entire world. Needless to say, day 1 was beaten with ease, and to save all of our sanity, I have decided to replace the phrase easy with a random phrase from either a Disney movie or the Communist Manifesto. You're welcome, chat. Continuing on to day 2, we are met with some pre-placed plants and we meet our next new zombie type, the Wedgie zombie. And for no reason whatsoever, I decided I wanted to address the allegations. The fan stool is actually a fan, and there's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. The reason for this is because his tongue movements actually displace zombies and bring them closer, so it counts. I win, bye bye. Day 2 was followed by day 3 where we meet Chill Bill's evil brother, Manic William, who is getting a little visit from the Sloppy Fairy. This was followed by day 4 where we meet yet another new zombie type, the Shovel Zombie, who shovels his shit into my face, but he left me with no impact whatsoever, so instead of running through this day, I just wanted to inform you that Mary Poppins is in fact the same species as Pennywise the Clown, and no, I will not elaborate. This was followed by day 5 where Manic William does Manic William things before moving on to day 6 where we had so much sun I could just place down anything without a single worry. Naturally, there is no Queen of England. Day 7 was a day where we are introduced to yet another new zombie type, the Umbrella Zombie, who does absolutely nothing but recites Rihanna's hit song Disturbia. This day had absolutely nothing notable going on whatsoever, so instead I decided to check on my next loaf of bread. Needless to say, all that was solid melts into air. Moving on to day 8, we had to protect Dave's stupid little flower bed, but it was a pre-picked plant day, so we can move straight on to day 9, where Manic William kept popping a cherry. Day 10 was yet another boring ass day, so instead of covering it, I thought it was the ideal time to plug my Twitch. Did you know that these worlds are streamed over at twitch.tv/Whoie, so why don't you come and give me a follow so we can all work together to free Chill Bill. Continuing on to day 11, we meet the Mosquito Zombie, and instead I finally made my grand return to Overwatch 2, a game I haven't played in eons, and to my surprise, it's actually pretty fun now thanks to the reintroduction of 6v6. Oh Overwatch, how I've missed you. Anyway, day 11 was beaten with no capes. Day 12 was a day where we had to produce 5,000 sun, and somehow this was a day that was even easier than usual due to the above average amount of sun we received. So instead, I started recruiting a team of international super spies to free Chill Bill from Ronald Reagan's Gulag. In this team, we have Solid Snake, Crazy Dave, Roadhog, Sly Cooper, John Fallout, and last but not least, Sackboy, to join me in freeing our hero Bill. The plan is all coming together. Will you join us? Unfortunately, when I moved on to day 13, we met Manic William, who refused to join us. He said he liked it here and he would not have Chill Bill returning to take his place. Now I knew we had to formulate a plan to rid ourselves of Manic William, but that will have to come later. Day 14 was a day that we had to complete with given plants, and on day 15 we had to protect some endangered plants where ants don't serve grasshoppers. Continuing on to day 16, we see Manic William forging a weapon of mass destruction, prepping himself for war. We had to retaliate. To combat Manic William, we enlisted the entire British military. Now we are in pre-war time, and the doomsday clock is getting ever so close to striking midnight. On day 17, we had yet another simple day that gave us an overwhelming amount of sun. So we jump straight on to day 18 where we see Manic William continuing to work on his weapon. So naturally, we use this time to continue our own preparations. In order to buy us more time, we instructed our special military force to gather blackmail of Donald Trump's relationship with Manic William, and we instructed the US government to release an email as proof to keep the masses' eyes on William, monitoring his every move and ensuring he can't finish his ultimate weapon before we free our friend Bill. This military operation was followed by days 19 and 20, which were just fucking boring days, and day 21, which was a pre-picked plant day, and then day 22, which was another pre-picked plant day, but this time it was actually interesting since it employed a new gimmick with these special tiles. It's just a shame they come up twice before disappearing into the lands of PvZ2 obscurity with the likes of the 3-peter image. The only interesting day of Lost City was followed by day 23, which was a complete cakewalk thanks to the time warp and primal P spam. The same goes for day 24. But on the plus side, we got some new recruits for our military, but I'm starting to fear our time is running out. Manic William's weapon is almost complete, and I don't have much time left. On day 25 we had half of our plants picked for us. However, with just a couple of plants, the Lost City once again proves to me why it's one of the worst worlds in PvZ, since we managed to beat it first try, just like every other day in this world. This was then followed by day 26, where I went honk shmee me 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 me, and day 27, where we are introduced to the Dr. Emmett Brown zombie. I actually thought I would fail this day since I forgot to pick all of my plants, and the game just gave me the same loadout as the previous days, but then I remembered this is the Lost City, and my old arthritic dog could have beaten this day for me. Fortunately, on day 28 I received a bit of respite since I got to play with the balls of Lost City on this cool gimmick. But since it was a pre-picked plant day, we moved straight on to day 29, which was once again another stupid boring day. On this day though, something happened. My missile detection system started going crazy, so I had to run to my military and activate a device of my own. With this new device activated, Manic William got banished to another realm where all he could do was game in the Clinton years. Now that William was banished, we could finally finish the Lost City by protecting Dave's boring ass mold with as many time warps as possible, and beat day 31 with pre-picked plants before going to strike down the Zomboss, where our channel composer Pengareng uses his Willem Dafoe fanfiction to smite down the Zomboss where he stood. If you want to assist me on the next episode of OnlyFans, be sure to comment either the Gulp of America or Chill Bill Must Be Free down in the comments below. And with that, the Lost City is finally complete. It is a world I struggled to write a script for, but with the war going on, I managed to fill up the time. But wait a minute, I hear something. Like a whistle. It's getting louder and louder, I wonder when it will stop. Ah!